Yay, it's clam day! No, really, Anbernic is back with their latest clamshell, this time a dual screen. And we're gonna see, does it live up to expectations? Coming in for under $100, well, a little over if you include shipping, we are looking at a RK3568 chipset. This is a new chipset we have not tested before. It is just a little bit higher spec, slightly than a RK3566, like what we see in the Anbernic RG DS. And we're gonna take a look and see today in this first look what our initial thoughts are, concerns might be, is it worth the price, and do I recommend it? But yeah, this might just be the right Nintendo DS emulation machine for you, or maybe stick with the original hardware or other solutions. All right, enough of my yapping. Let's hop in. We got multiple things here today. We got the carry case, nice, branded, there you go. And we have two DSs to look at today. One's gonna be the turquoise blue, and the other one is black and crimson red. These are my two favorite colors from what I was seeing when they did the promo material. And they also have a polar white option. Oh, that's right, they're shipping with the Stylus. So these are fairly cheap, but that feels good in hands. One that I like to pair with the AYN Thor is this little guy here. Smaller, definitely cheapy feeling, and cheap, but smaller footprint. And it has this little attachment. You can just tape it right onto the device. Oh, okay. So the glossy top reminds me of my 3DS XL here. Interesting. The plastic feels high quality so far. It's been sitting in the cold on my porch, so we're getting some condensation there. We'll see if that's actual fingerprinting soon. DC, USB-C up top, micro SD card slot. Very clicky L1, R1, L2, and R2. A little bit like the GPD XD compared to a Nintendo DSi XL there. This is more recessed. These protrude. Oh, the hinge so far is pretty stiff opening this here. Whoa, that's stiff. So hopefully that loosens up a bit over time. You don't want a stiff hinge. That's what leads to actual cracking and problems. Now, Anbernic has been good with their hinges, though. While they did have the 35XX SP, where there was some issues with the transparent models on occasion, in general, they've been the best of the different makers for their hinges. The 34XX SP, definite improvement as well. Nice and smooth open, so it's a little strange to me that already this is going to be so dang tight. That needs loosening. Wow. Ugh. Well, maybe it's safe that way. We got a 3.5 headphone on the bottom. We actually have a spot for a lanyard, which is neat on both sides. Volume up and down, power button. 4-inch displays here, top and bottom. 640 by 480 OCA full fit lamination. Little teeny tiny sticks. These are Vita style sticks. We were wondering on the Retro Handhelds podcast what sticks they would be. They do remind me of the 34XX SP, but more so what I see on the Trim UI Smart. Clicky D-pad, clicky face buttons, similar to what we see in the 34XX SP. In fact, I believe that's the same D-pad. Might be the same face buttons too, why not? They already have the parts. So we know that this won't be 100% pixel perfect, top and bottom. Once you do upscaling, they're not perfectly balanced anyways, but it does upscale. It should be able to upscale anyways with Drastic, which is what we'd recommend. With this chipset and the power, it doesn't quite have enough juice to fully run MelonDS and all of its nice enhancements like retro achievement support. We have two front-firing speakers, which I appreciate. Up top, we'll see how they sound. Also in the box, by the way, the case, little wiggle room. Let's see once we put it underneath. Okay, there we go. That's good. So that's what that looks like if you wanted to know. But yeah, don't need that. We do get a lanyard, all right. And there's our micro SD card. You can order this with or without micro SD card. This will just have some games on it. I have my 2 terabyte if we need as well. Also, check out on the channel, we should have a live stream up by now for this device where we do a bunch of game testing. Check that out if you want more in depth on the gameplay specifics. And this does have Wi-Fi 2.4, 5 gigahertz. Oh, and it comes with 2 tempered glass screen protectors too. And you get a charge cable. Neat. While we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and get our other one out here. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, the pin matches. That's cool. Turquoise. Now, this is the one that I was most excited about. While there was no original DS in this color, this does bring some nostalgia for the 3DS, the original 3DS, that had an option similar to this in the aqua flavor. Also very stiff, same stiff hinge. I don't think people are going to like that very much. Wonder if I can just wear it in and see if we can get looser over time. I don't see where the hinge would break on this, but yeah, we're just going to need to road test it and see. Oh, they even got matching blue Vita style sticks. That's cool. I've never seen those in that color before. Same D-pad, face buttons, everything here, just the color. I definitely think this pops more. It's all uniform. It would be nice to add a little bit of variety in here. Maybe, I don't know, do the buttons or something, spice it up a bit. Maybe get some mods going because that would be cool. But yeah, the pin, it's a pretty good match. That's fun. So yeah, it's pretty low-powered chipset as far as we know so far. So I just wonder how it's going to go. While we're waiting, let's get some weight tests in. We are looking at 313 grams on the DS, 35XXSP at 197. The actual Nintendo DSi XL is at 315, so that's pretty close. That's the exact weight pretty much. And the Retroid Pocket Flip 2 at 313, also the exact same weight. So it's the exact same weight as the Retroid Pocket Flip 2. This is a touchscreen again, so you're gonna see, yeah, it works. Neat. So what do they have loaded on here? And how do they handle the dual screen element? Because I gotta say, AYN did a great job with their Thor in the Thor Control Center software with how they handled switching between the screens, especially with the latest update. Other solutions like you see from Retroid, like their dual screen accessory, a little more clunky, but it's another option as well. Can we get triple screen? Hey, it fits. They don't mention HDMI out though, so this is probably a no-go. But for science, triple screen setup, yeah, it's not gonna work. We tried. Now, one difference between the Thor and the DS, well, not only is it worlds better in performance because you're looking at a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on here, but you get 2 AMOLED screens compared to 2 IPS there. Taking a look at the website over here, you can get this without an SD card for about $94 right now. And pre-orders are going to be shipped, they say before December 15th. They're usually pretty good about shipping, but this is a little further out than people might be used to from Anbernic. But we don't often see delays from them once they start fulfilling orders. And likely you shouldn't see tariffs depending where you're at. If you're in the US, we haven't seen that. So yeah, with shipping, like I was saying, this is going to take it over $100. Shipping is about $25. So if they're doing tariffs and they're not charging you tariffs, likely it's built into that pricing there. Costs are going up. They're saying that RAM costs are going up. I keep hearing that. It's still tough because they were advertising this as a sub $100 handheld. But other specs on this are going to be the 4-inch IPS OCA full fit, 640 by 480. There's a quick switch option for the upper and lower screens. They say dual application on split screens. GPU is an ARM G52. Of course, there's that 3568. Memory is going to be 3 gigabytes on this. So with Android 14, yeah, you might see a little bit of slowdown. I think Android 14 could do much better with at least 4 gigabytes. Internal space, we're seeing 32 gigs. It's fine, but you're going to want an SD card because 32 is not going to cut it. Even if you put your entire DS library on there, you're going to be going past that. 2.4, 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, up to AC speeds. Bluetooth is at 4.2. This will play Android games as well and other emulation. Same thing, basically everything that your RK3566 handhelds could do from Anbernic and other makers. There's a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which they claim is up to 6 hours of battery life. Yeah, we'll see how that does in testing. And they also include their AI program. They say there's a built-in Hall magnetic switch, but what they mean there is, I believe it's going to be just here to recognize when the lid's closed, so it knows to put it to sleep. See, there you go. Okay, let's test that. That works pretty well. The bottom screen comes on first, and then the top screen. Oh ho! There is a 6-axis gyroscope sensor in here. It can handle streaming as well. I wonder what those decode times are like. We'll see. There's a vibration motor, 3.5 stereo out like we were saying. So we got a glossy shell on the top, just like the original 3DS. That's kind of a cool touch. Yeah, I definitely prefer the blue here, I think. Let me get this one started. As far as ergonomics go on this, I like the weight balance on it. Like, that feels good. It is lightweight. And yeah, it's not too top heavy at all. So a nice placement for my thumbs, for the face buttons and the D-pad. I think D-pad centric gaming, like what you see on the DS, will feel good here. Moving down here is not too bad of a reach, but yeah, I think D-pad gaming, oh, that feels nice. These shoulder buttons are so dang loud though. Oh, that's not a play in bed next to your partner at night kind of sound. Or kiddo or anything. That's not a dentist office click. Gonna give everyone in the waiting room anxiety about their upcoming teeth operations. Ooh. See, the original DS, for one floppy screen to protect the hinge, quieter buttons. Yeah, it's done better here. Taking a look just for fun at 3DS. Also done better here. Not a dual screen, but while we're talking about the flip, still clicky on top, but not as bad. All right, let's listen to those speakers. Not very much oomph in them. A bit tinny. They're serviceable, but nothing to write home about here. At least they're nice and bright and, you know, right in your face. Well, it recognizes all the games here and it's already scraped. That's nice. Wonder why it's tied to the bottom screen though. Ben 10 Galactic Racing, let's go. No, let's do Alien Force. Yeah, I like the smaller stylus better. This is of course more comfortable to hold. It's just likely I'm not going to be carrying this around with me. I'd probably do something smaller. And so I think we're going to do that attachment, but I don't know where a good spot to do it. I think on this one, putting it along the bottom instead of having it on top, since we got that covered. And let's see what we're at as far as settings for this one. So you can make changes now to how these screens are set up here in the emulator itself. This is Drastic. High resolution 3D rendering is off. Multi-threaded 3D rendering is off. So I want to experiment with that a bit. So it's an LCD 1X is the filter that they have on there. And I guess that just balances out those pixels. No frame skip. Oh, okay. So when you're clicking the button to switch, you're just switching which screen is going to take your input. I see. Oh, and they did include 3DS on here for ROMs. Just a couple. So these must be games that run okay. All right, at least it's pre-configured. That's good. Okay, now I'm starting to feel it heat up, so it's getting warm right there. Oh, but it's working. So I don't know what they've done here. So of course, yeah, we're on lowest native resolution, 400 by 240. They have linear filtering turned on. Well, at least for this game, we're looking good. All right, this one's not running full speed. We got 40 FPS here. Feels very playable, though. I'm not seeing any PWM issues, though. I don't see any refresh rate issues from the naked eye, any screen tearing. So let's just do a vertical screen test. Well, I mean, that feels very playable. Very extremely lightweight 3DS games, though. Those are definitely hand-picked. So we'll load on some of our own, though, and see. I see they were trying to go for the DS-style hinge. Hey, this works on the DS, too. Let me get like for like on the brightness. There we go. That's pretty close. Yeah, nice crisp colors. So very close though. Yeah, it looks better over here. But it is damn close. I'm not seeing Google Play, which is going to help because 3 gigs of RAM, Google Play will be a bit of an overhead. So better without. You can sideload though. Use the Aurora Store. VSync tester. We're looking at a clean 60 hertz here. And down below, the same. Got 60 hertz. Okay, I want to test the dead zones on these sticks, though. So, as I was kind of feeling, yeah, the sticks are pretty stiff. There's some snapping there. It snaps to center, at least. You can move all around, but that's kind of tight. So yeah, sticks probably my least favorite part of this device, but they're there. If you want to see if there's a gap, this is something people want to know, because the Thor has an air gap there, and this does not. That's nice and sealed. So we love to see that. Here's another look. And there's it going to sleep. And does it make contact with the screen? Let's do some flex tests. No, that feels good. And does it make contact? Well, that looks good. And let's try a pocketability test, because yeah, this is nice and lightweight. Okay, that is pocketable. Okay, let's test out Melon. Let's play the same game, Dawn of Sorrow. Okay, so it's coming up on both screens. What's nice about MelonDS, though, if we can get some games to work, is you get retro achievements. Let's tell it to keep the DS aspect ratio. And yeah, we are getting slow down. Let's switch to an OpenGL renderer. Let's stay at 1x, filter none. Nope, doesn't like that. Yeah, 38 FPS. So Melon. No, Citra MMJ. And my favorite game, Alien Chaos 3D. Yeah, I really just think in general 3DS will be a no-go, but Azahar might do a bit better for us. Yeah, that is not good. Yeah. All right, well, now that we have our own games, and let's throw Golden Sun Dark Dawn at it. And we're getting both screens working. Perfect. Getting 100%. Can we push a 2x on it? Maybe remove the filter? See, that looks nicer to me. Just cleaner pixels. But yeah, the text now looks a little aliased, right? But at a 2x, we are able to hit... Oh. I spoke too soon, and it's done. Oh, did it restart the system? It did. That's a first. Don't enable high-res mode. Should we try leaving the 3D rendering on? Maybe it was just an issue with Golden Sun, which is a tough game to run. Gets very warm with the high resolution rendering on. And now we have picture in picture for some reason. All right, lastly, let's do Pokemon Black. Oh, it is getting warm back here. Oh, my good golly. 37, 38, 39. Battery life so far has been okay, though. We're down to 28%. So yeah, recommendation, don't push this chipset unless you really need to. It just gets very uncomfortably warm back here. Pokemon's running well, though. Okay, we got this. Should we put it on down here? Or should we do it on the left side? What do you think is more balanced? Well, our hand's going to be there, so I think our safest bet, let's try putting it to sleep, by the way. It does go to sleep. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad. Pull it out. Put it in. That's what she said. Opens right back up. Nice. Okay, improved performance, multi 3D. Let's see if that helps. It's going to be a per game basis, whether that helps, but might help us with Golden Sun, Dark Dawn. Oh, let's go. Big Mario. Yeah, so they did do a disc shape. Some people say this is more accurate. Oh, and it has a kind of a satisfying click you can do for the taps. IPS quality is not bad here. I like that because you can use the capacitive side or the disc. Cool. The joystick actually feels good. I don't feel the cardinal snapping. And we are getting full speed now, so we're looking good on, as long as you leave all those fancy settings off and you leave it how they set it, this is looking good. How about WarioWare touched? Yes. All right, everybody. Let's get out of here. So, what did you think about the RG DS from Anbernic? Is this one that looks good to you that you're picking up? Let me know in the comments below. Are there better options out there? If you want to really throw money at this situation, you could get something like a AYN Thor to get extra performance to be able to truly do those 3DS games and do more justice to DS games, get retro achievements in MelonDS. Or, I mean, honestly, stick with your original hardware. This is still the best solution. Stay tuned and check out the live stream on our channel. What it's trying to emulate in B works fairly well as long as you scope it straight to DS, 1x resolution, none of the extra stuff turned on. 3DS is not happy on here, and I don't think that's going to be a reality. Yeah, you might be able to squeeze a little bit and really get it into testing per game, tweaking every setting. You can get a little bit more out of there, sure. But that's not the system that I would go. I would go with, again, with the Thor or something like the AYN Pocket DS if it ever ships. And there is still the Retroid dual screen accessory. And we don't talk about the 1X sugar. All things considered, though, not bad. I'm so far kind of at a, yeah, this is awesome in a lot of ways, but I need time with it. And I don't know. The Hinge gives me pause just with how kind of clunky it is. I wish it was a little looser or just, yeah. Don't love that. I think it might need loosening. I don't know how it's going to hold up over time. Love the colorways. These are both fun. I enjoy how pocketable it is. As far as accessories, you can get that carry case. But yeah, buttons all felt good. The finish and feel felt good. I kind of like how it emulates that top glossy with the bottom matte. Concerns about fingerprints on this, but not on this. Nice and lightweight, very pocketable. I think it's going to be a good one to carry around with you. It does get very warm as well. That was another concern. It gets pretty hot, especially when you're pushing it. So stay at the lowest settings you can if you want to keep the heat down. Having some active cooling in this would almost be worth it, but I think it would take away from what it's intending to emulate on the original hardware. Screens look good, nice and vivid for what they are for IPS. Battery testing we're going to have to see over time. Stay tuned on our channel for more content about the RGDS from Zoo Reviews. Also, check out the website, retrohandhelds.gg, where you're going to see content from our writers. Beyond just regular dual screen gaming, it's nice to have two screens because you can do multitasking. You can have maybe a game FAQ guide on one screen and have just regular 4x3 gaming up top for some other system. This should be able to play, up to everything that the 3566 handhelds can do, which is going to cap out right above PSP, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, DS, as we saw, dipping slightly into 3DS. Can we do GameCube on this? It's low performing hardware, but for the price, it's interesting. People wanted an A527 chip in this because that is both a cheaper chip to get and with better performance. Yeah, we saw the A527, the E6 Max, and the Helgali Action Pi. So I don't know that it's coming to these more mainstream of the emulation handhelds. As far as performance goes, though, on this chipset, so where we're looking at this for the RK3568, that's going to be better than the RK3566, better than the 3326, but a bit underneath the T618 chip, which is underneath the T620 and the T820. So it's kind of on the lower end of the performance in the range of these mid-budget to mid-range Android chips. Well, I think that about does it for me. Would love to hear your thoughts. Once again, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and maybe subscribe and share to stay in the know for all of your favorite retro handhelds. And a special thanks to our channel members, our patrons, and our subs who make everything here possible for us. Perks with RH start for as little as $3 per month. Join us in our Discord to chat and play games, and join me on the next video where we're going to be looking at more RGDS on the live stream. Check us out on the podcast every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, where we talk about the latest, greatest in handheld and emulation news. And until the next one, this has been Stubbs on behalf of, well, producer Sony and you all, saying take care of those handhelds and each other.